Mr. Julian Lane, how's it going?
Going good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just out here trying to stay healthy over here in Japan.
Hey, God bless you, man. And I'm out here doing the same, man. Trying to
Yep.
just stay healthy, and day to day, man. Living day to day, man.
Another fight coming up, or is that something that's in the works, maybe?
Well, I'm supposed to be having a fight probably either February, I would say, or March. But you know me, man. I like to stay active, and I ain't
Yeah.
really been active in the last couple of years, man. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to, I'm trying to get put a pep in my step and get back into it, man. It's just training and working and taking care of my kids and stuff, all that
Yeah.
put together, But I've relaxed for a while now, so I feel like I got to get back on the grind, man, and start getting some bouts under my belt, man.
Yeah.
MMA and Knuckle.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna do MMA too?
Probably here in the near future, man. I'll probably start, getting back in doing a few fights here in 2021.
Oh,
I'm
that's nice.
actually
Yeah, 'cause you
back in
were
the
at
cage.
BKFC, right? Is mostly
Yeah,
bare
yeah.
knuckle what I've
I'm
seen
still with
recently.
Bare Knuckle. Let's see. And I'm going to stay with them, but you know what I mean. But I don't want to fall too far away from MMA. Also, man. I like to do it all, man. I like to do it all. So whether
Yeah,
it's
that's
for me, you know what I mean, fighting, I like to do all aspects of the sports, man, of the arts.
yeah. Does BKFC allow you to jump to different promotions and do other stuff as long as it's like MMA?
I haven't really actually tried to actually do anything, set anything up,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure I would have to just run it by the boss man and see what he's talking about, man. But I got 2 fights left in my contract, so I also got to
Time to
renegotiate that
time to
here.
renegotiate some contracts.
For sure, for sure. Plus, with the whole COVID thing, it's set us back a little bit. We were out 6 months, man, but I still have some time. You know what I mean with BKFC, and I don't want to go anywhere, man. I like those guys, man. They treat me good,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. I just have this urge to get into the cage, man. So, and I feel like I never finished what I started on that path, and I gotta finish that one on top of doing the one I'm doing now. I kind of been all over the place, man, in the last few years, man. You
Yeah. And
know,
speaking of path, that you started, how did you get into MMA? What led you to getting into fighting?
well, I grew up wrestling as a kid. My mom
Okay.
put me into wrestling when I was about 8 years old, and I started doing that, man. Like my dude, literally my first night on the mat, I freaking they did like how the guy goes through the whole lineup. Everybody
Yeah.
wrestles everybody.
Yeah.
We did that, and once they got to me, man, I freaking smashed the guy, and then smashed him all the way through heavyweight, man. So I kind of like that was my. I still remember that night, man. That was my first night ever on the wrestling mat, and I was literally like 50-0 in my first 50 matches,
Jeez.
and I pinned everybody with the head and arm choke, man. You know what I mean? And like that's all he has. That's all he has. So then I switched up to the double chicken wing, man, and I started pinning everybody with that. But that's how I got started, man. That create kind of opened that element in my mind, you know what I mean, or in my spirit,
Yeah.
that. But I always had it, man. I always had that little temper, or wanted to fight if I got mad or something like that. And I was just real competitive as a kid, and I was just after high school and everything, I was just working and everything, and watching UFC, and I'm like, man, I want to get into that, because I can wrestle, and I do wrestling for years of my life, man. And one night I was here in Ohio, and I watching the local channel, and I hit up. It was called NAAFS. It was
Hmm.
a promotion here. It was a big promotion here of Ohio. At one point, it was the biggest. They're not in business now, but at one point they were. And I took my first fight with them, man. I hit them up, and told him how many wrestling matches I had, man. I had like 380 matches. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, my record's like 380 and 20 something, da da da. And they hit me up like, man, what the hell is this, man? Like, how many fights? Is this
Did
how
you
many
kind
fights
of
you
did you
got?
kind of fudge that record a little bit, add a couple of extra wins in there, or was that your actual record?
Oh yeah, man. That was just my first season, man. My
Wow.
first season, my first season wrestling, I had about 380 matches, man. It
Wow.
was crazy. I wrestled all year round, so like the whole year, my mom, you know, first tournament I ever went to, man. I got eliminated. It was like single elimination. We drove like 4 hours, man. Fucking, she was chewing my ass out all the way home, man.
That
Like,
was a terrible ride home, I bet. You know how much gas costs now, boy?
and then she started putting me into two weight classes, two age brackets, and I actually started collecting two, three medals at a time, man. You
So
know what I
so
mean?
two weight brackets. You would wrestle two weight brackets at the same time, or just different days you would wrestle different?
Like one day I would do two age brackets, or I would do two weight brackets. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, so I'd be getting called off one mat. I'll be on the mat wrestling a guy, man. I hear my name getting called onto another mat. I was like, oh, hurry up and get this dude out of the way, man.
Time to go. That's crazy. It's like it feels like nowadays you wouldn't even imagine that they'll even let that happen because it's kind of like, especially in sports, they kind of baby athletes so much now. It seems like.
Yeah, for
I
sure, man.
wonder if, yeah. So so growing
But
up,
yeah,
how was?
back to
Oh,
the MMA, man. Back to watching the local channel and
yeah.
seeing some fights, hitting up NAAFS. They they set me up with a debut fight, and that's how I got started, man. I fought up in Akron, Ohio, and it was called Rumble on the Runway. It was up by the Canton Airport,
Okay.
and yeah, I actually lost that night, but I
Oh,
lost by 3 round decision, man. But I was really way out of my weight class. I stepped on the scale. I had all my clothes on, man. I was about $175. I was fighting 185. I told him I was 180. I
185?
didn't want to, yeah, but I didn't want to scale at the time, man. The way they set up, it was so like bad news bears. You know what I mean? I was just
Yeah.
I made a bag out of it was like a duffel bag, and I stuffed it full of dirt and sand and rocks, and I hung it in my tree, and I freaking started running around the hood, man. Everybody, Rocky style, dude, doing sprints on my street, man.
Oh,
And
you were running with the bag?
well, no, I would just run around the neighborhood, but yeah, I
Oh,
mean, I would the bag too sometimes. I use it as a workout. You know what I mean? But I actually, hung the bag in my tree in my front yard, man. So I'd be out there hitting the bag and stuff. And
oh,
yeah, man, and that's how I got started. And after that, man, I got on a win streak, man, and started, dominating, man. And finally, after I would say about 13 amateur fights, I might have had 13 or 14 amateur fights, and I ended off. My record was 9-4 as an amateur, and then I went to a pro. And once I made my pro debut, you know what I mean, it was on after that, man. I
where
made
where
that.
did you go pro? Which company did you turn pro with? Where was your first fight?
And it was some rinky dink out here in and it was literally on a horse barn, dude.
On a
Hey,
what?
in a horse barn on a
A
fairground.
horse barn. Okay.
Literally, man. The canvas was black and it was covered in footprints by the time I got onto it, man. Like these dudes running around in the dirt in their bare feet. I'm like, dude, what the fuck these dudes ain't got no shoes, man? They out here running
Oh my
around,
gosh.
running up no shoes on. I'm like, at least wear some shoes. I'll run around in the dirt, making
Oh
the kids
man.
feel dirty. Hey, I'm telling you, I was the only one that got paid that night, man.
Are you
Like I
serious?
literally, yeah, there was barely any fans there, man. The guy, I actually fought the backyard, like usual. I always fight the backyard guy, man,
Yeah.
and choked him out. Choked him out in the first round, but he had the whole arena sold. Like he sold all the tickets. Everybody was there for him, So, but of course, I was main event. So right after the fights, I walked up to the promoter like, "Yo, what's up, man? I gotta get paid for this. Got paid for my ticket sales. Got paid, you know what I mean? For just got my money and
And get
there was a
out.
few other checks written out to them, man, because they didn't really make enough in cash to pay out the show in cash. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at that point, making $600 a fight, you know what I'm saying? you're getting cash. You know what I mean? So it's not
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And
But
even $600 back then, that was still quite a bit, right? Because I've heard of fighters making way less than that in pro fights.
I did pretty good to get my first debut for $600. You know what I mean? For my opponent, it being his pro debut, I made it at 170. I was a 55er, but I made it at 170 because it was his pro debut. So I was like, okay, well, it ain't like he's gonna be too experienced, and
Yeah.
I can jump up a weight class for this. And it's like, man, once I did that, uh, after that, I was what 4-0. I got on a 4-fight win streak, and I hit up the Ultimate Fighter and tried out for the 155-pound live season.
Mm.
I remember flying out to Vegas and tried out. I actually tried out, man. I got matched up against Abel Trujillo. I don't know if you heard of him, seen him in
Oh
UFC,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah. Isn't he the
And
only guy that took down Khabib?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did they fight?
I think so. Abel Trujillo, I think so. I might be thinking somebody else, but I remember watching some videos and he actually took Khabib down one time. I think he's the only the only fighter to actually take him down. So
Yeah, man, I remember that. Yeah, that was the tryouts. It was in Vegas at the Texas, I think the Texas station or something like that. And we got on. They make you do it's like 20 seconds of grappling. Then you got to do 20 seconds on the mitts. So I was there by myself. I had my dad with me, and
yeah.
I got mixed up with Abel, and we just went in there freaking bashing heads, man, and freaking going at it, man. I think I guillotined them under the table. Like we slid off the mat, went under the judge's table, and I guillotined them, man. I'm looking at the judges smiling and shit, and then like they held the mitts for me, man. Then I hit the mitts, and they kind of had their eye on me at that point, man. And then after that, we had they do like a 20-second interview, and ace that one. They and 4 weeks later, not 4 weeks later, it was about a week later, they called me, man, and brought me back out to do my medicals and stuff. And that was, for the live season. The time they did the live season,
Yeah.
yeah, Mike Chiesa won.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
How
yeah,
old were
so
you at that time?
I think I was 24 actually.
Oh,
I
okay.
was 24, something
I'm
like
bad
that,
at
man.
math. I'm bad at math. So when you started saying that 2000,
Seconds,
now I'm
man.
30.
I started, just give me some time. Let me think real quick because I try to think too quick. I'm just gonna
I'm
start
so
guessing,
I'm,
man.
I'm so bad at math when I'd go to Vegas and I play blackjack. I always look for the dealer that would tell you what you have. Because some dealers tell you like, oh, that's 17, sir, and other ones just wait. I remember one time I was at the table.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was at the table and I got a card. I don't remember what I had, and I said, "Oh, hit me." And I got the third card, and I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Sir, that's 22." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm saying like next one I'm gonna get it." And I was like, so I just grabbed my chips and left. I was like, man. So I just walk around looking for the guy. Especially when you're betting money, man, you get a little nervous and one little mistake. So, anyways, all right, back to your story, man.
All right, yeah. So back to the Ultimate Fighter. What's the
Back to the
season?
Ultimate Fighter.
Season 15, right? I think it was 15
Yeah, I
live.
don't remember the exact number. Yeah.
All right. So long story short, man, flew out, did my medicals with everybody, blah blah blah. Then they hit you with that. I'll call you in 4 weeks, let you know if you made the show. You know what I mean? 4 weeks came by, man. I was taking a nap. I still remember that shit. Taking a nap, and I freaking answered my phone. I had this strange number calling, man. They told me I didn't make the show, and
Oh,
I was like bummed, bro. Like, man, I started like closing my eyes, trying to like snap out, like, yo, am I really waking up? Am I awake or am I dreaming? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I was like, fuck, dude, that kind of it didn't feel real, man. And then I was really bummed about that. But then, hey, like I said, back on track, man. Got me another fight. Came up Bellator, coming to Cleveland, Ohio. Bellator 66, man. I was 3-0 at that point, and I fought Bellator 66, Cleveland, Ohio, and I choked the guy out in the first round, Joe Highland, and I called him up. I still had the producer's number after that, and I seen they were doing Ultimate Fighter welterweights. So
Hmm.
I was like, instead of doing 55, I was like, all right, I'll go on there and do welterweights. So I called him up. I was like, hey, I'm 4-0 now. I got another win. I fought Bellator. They brought me back out to do medicals for that season. You know what I mean? Right away, they brought me out for the medicals,
You didn't have to do the tryouts again. It was just straight to medicals.
straight to medicals. And actually, after that, like you said, 4 weeks, we'll call you and let you know if you made it, man. This time
Yeah.
it was about 5 weeks now. I'm like, damn, all right, they ain't letting me know nothing now, but no
Nah.
news is, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
No
yeah.
news, man. And I got the text like you made it and da 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 because they were asking me sizes and shit about shirt
Mm.
sizes and stuff. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, dude, I'm making it or not. They're like, we don't know yet, man. I'm like, well, you
Oh,
asked all these, you know what I mean? They're like, it must have been real, like, confidential until the
yeah.
deadline.
Yeah, probably.
They finally, I was like, man, that was a blessing, man, in disguise. I couldn't believe it, man. It was so unreal, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's
And
the thing is like a lot of times when, like you just said, it was a blessing in disguise. Like if you would have got in that first season, who knows what would have happened. So that
right,
extra year to
I
fight and
might,
train.
I might, I might have won the show. No, I was playing.
Yeah. Hey
Uh,
man, you never know. You never
I
know.
never would have had a pink mohawk, man.
Yeah, yeah. I was actually watching that this morning. I was just kind of scrolling through some of the.
Have my cup of coffee and watch Let Me Bang, bro.
I was watching that and you were going, let me bang, bro. And my son, he's 11. He goes, what are you watching, Daddy? I go, oh, I'm gonna talk to him today. And he's like, why does he? My son goes, why does he want to bang?
Oh man.
Oh man, speaking of that, that incident right there, the famous "Let me bang, bro." Like I was watching that this morning, and I watched it once, and I was like, oh man, I remember that was funny, and then I watched it again, and I was like, man, something was really going on with him. Like I could see pain in your eyes. Like
Yeah,
was there something in particular that led to that
man. It was.
outside of the house?
Yeah, I mean, I that wasn't before my fight. A lot of they try to portray me in that on that season. They showed me drinking before my fight. Like I never drank before my fight. I'm really disciplined, and
That
especially
that
at
was
that point in my career.
that was not after your first fight.
Yeah, that was after my fight.
Okay.
It didn't happen before the fight. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
Sure, but I was just saying there were other segments on the
Yeah,
episodes that showing that I had a little bit of drink, like before they had showed my fight in the house. So it's like it kind of made it look like I had some drinks before my fight.
yeah,
That I mean, well, I had two fights on the first season. We had a fight to get into the house,
yeah.
and I won that fight. And then my preliminary fight, I ended up losing.
Okay.
But but yeah, man, it was just it's all emotional roller coaster, man. Like it's crazy. Like I made the show, man. I got on there, man. It's like, back to that. Like I finally made the show. It's like a dream come true, man.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm leaving Ohio, man. I'm leaving. But I had my firstborn daughter. She was one or new. She was either newborn or one,
Mm.
and I had another daughter on the way.
Wow.
So yeah. So I'm like, all
And how
right,
many weeks are you on the show?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, man.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, I tell my baby mom, I was like, all right, if you don't hear from me tomorrow night, you ain't gonna hear from me for 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you guys don't get to call or anything.
No, no, not at all,
Wow.
man. Calls, no letters. You don't even, man. You can't. There's no TVs or anything. You don't get deck of cards because they don't want you sitting around just playing board games and shit, man. They want you
Yeah.
fucking they want you talking amongst each other, doing stuff and being social. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sitting down being boring.
Man, that's
Um,
crazy. So if you win your first fight and you get in the house, you don't even get a chance to call the family and say, "Hey, I made it. I'll see you in 6 weeks."
Because you fly, I went out to Vegas. They put me in a hotel, because we fought in the Mandalay Bay to get in the house. So
Okay.
in Vegas, they put me in a hotel. They dumped my bags, took my phone, and after that, man, I was 24 hours in a hotel. We was doing photo shoots and shit, probably like 2 or 3 days, man. I think it was more than 24 hours. I was probably in there 2 or 3 days, and
Wow.
then we freaking fought to get in. No, I wasn't there 2 or 3. It was just 24 hours. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. I'm pretty sure. And we fought to get in the house the next day. But once we got there, they took my phone. So I was just about to call somebody like, "Hey, I'm in Vegas, man. I'm at the hotel, and No, they came and got my phone, man.
Gone.
And I fought to get in the house, and I was, hey, they didn't hear from me for 6 weeks. You know what I mean? And I
Wow.
was like, it was the biggest opportunity in my life. At that point in my life, man, and just when I got on there, when my fight got in the house, I was ecstatic, man. And I got picked last on the team, which was fine.
Yeah.
But I was just real like nobody knew about me. You know what I mean? Nobody knew about me, man. And I kind of just played my cards wrong, man. That's all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I could do it again, I'd have done it differently, man. But at the same time, you can't say that you would have because you don't know if you really would have, man.
Yeah.
It's it's what happens in the moment, man.
Yeah.
That's what's
Yeah. It's easy to say now, like, oh man, I would have done this different, or I wouldn't have said this or done that, but maybe we would have done something worse. We don't know. So you just got to
right.
take it for what
Sure.
it is and roll with it.
Yeah, and the incident with the whole thing where I lashed out was emotional and everything. Like I said, I just lost my fight, man. I was like, man, I let everybody down, man. I was like, I
Yeah.
was guaranteeing everybody, man. I was this shit, man. You know what I mean? I had put so many hours day and night in the gym. You know what I mean? And it was, I dedicate myself so hard to this life, man. And it's like sometimes shit like that happens, man. And like, well, it's more likely to happen when you're drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Well, like you said, you had a one daughter that was around one and another one on the way. So all that mixed in, and
Yeah,
you
just like
lost, and then you're still not going to see them.
yeah, and it was kind of like, but it kind of started off like me and a dude were like picking at each other, man. And I kind of like
Okay.
sparked. All right, well, I sparked in my mind. Okay, well, he don't like me. I don't like him. We can kind of get something set up. We'll fight.
Yeah.
We'll get a grudge match set up. That might be my lifeline back into the tournament.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We'll kind of, you know what I mean? In the finale, maybe get a grudge match, things like that. You know what I mean? But and like I said, man, it happened. But at the same time, if it didn't happen, man, I wouldn't, be the face that I am.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true. That let me bang, bro. I mean, that's everybody knows
it's,
that.
I know, man. And it's not the prettiest video. Uh, People think it's entertaining, man.
Yeah.
It's a crazy world now, man. People like crazy things, man. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they say, it is what it is.
Yeah,
And
it is what it is.
speaking about, doing things differently and things like that, what are some things growing up in your life that you've had to overcome?
Um, Pretty much, man. Like my mind, dude. You got to overcome your negative mindset, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when things happen, man, you got to take the good with the bad and the bad with the
Yeah.
good, man. Things like that. And I've definitely matured. Some, I got 4 kids now. I got actually 4 daughters now.
Four
So
daughters.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
I,
awesome, man.
ever since then, man, it's each one has taught me a different step in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I get stronger every time and smarter. So it's like now they taught me how to love. You know what I mean? They taught me how to show the soft side and not
Yeah.
try to hide it so much, man, and try to, because you got to know how to show emotions to people. I can show emotions to my kids
Yeah.
easily, man, easily, but there's people that I love too that I can't. Like you kind of get a weird feeling when you show emotion like that, love to them, man. And it's like, why do I have that feeling? You know what I mean? But why can't I give this feeling that I give to my daughters to other people? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like they teach me more, like more of that, of being a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I have five brothers, and so I can kind of understand what you're talking about. Like I can't. I love my brothers. We get along great, and we joke around a lot. But I'm not like, oh, come here, brother. Give him a hug.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Little bit
man,
different with.
sometimes you just gotta stop and tell them that you love them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
that's
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 one thing we do.
that's that's the thing, man. It's like you gotta communicate with the people. You gotta reach out to people, man, and
Yeah.
stay in touch. You know what I mean? Because you always have like things sitting on your conscience and sitting in the back of your mind. Like, you know what I mean? It's like if you really love somebody, man, go out, like hit them up, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't just wait for them to hit you up. You
Yeah,
know,
especially now, it's so much easier. Before you had to write a letter or even make a phone call, and now you can just send a quick message, and it's not as
no,
good as a phone call, but still,
it's not though, man, because because that's all social media, man, and social
yeah,
media is, to me, it's fake. You know, not
yeah,
fake. It's fake when you don't know the people that you're like
yeah,
connected and just liking their stuff or
yes,
just scrolling by and not even stopping to read what they have to say. You
yeah.
just a picture and like it. And it's like some people might not even like your stuff because you haven't liked their stuff. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh,
That's
you have no
that's
idea how many messages I've got like that.
It distances people, man, and
Yeah,
I feel it doesn't actually connect. It drives people. It's driven people apart. So it's like it's good to keep a phone log, man, and keep some phone numbers and
yeah.
memorize some people's phone numbers, and not just use your phone and to connect on media, man. Because that actually, to me, man, that's not connecting at all, man. That actually that's it's negative energy, man. You
Yeah.
know?
With
Yeah.
social media, I've made a lot of new acquaintances and I've made a couple new friends. Um, but yeah, I get messages from people like, "Man, I've liked all your recent posts, but you haven't even liked one of mine." I'm like, "Well, I haven't really been on social media, but let me go through and go ahead and like those posts."
I go through just like people shit, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm supporting, man. I'm supportive of my friends, man. If
Yes.
people that support me, man, I support them back. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, likewise.
It's personal, man. And if I don't call somebody, they know I still, like there's people that that even if we don't talk for a while, man, it's like
Yes.
they know it's still like that when we see each other. So,
Yeah, like this morning I posted that I'm going to be podcasting again before this show, and you didn't like it, so I was actually going to cancel this podcast since you didn't even like my post about the. No, I'm just kidding, man. I was
oh
waiting. I
shit.
was like, "Where is he? Where is he?" Nothing. All right.
Hey, I was right on time, man.
I was right outside. No, I'm just kidding, man. Yeah, like my brothers and I, what we do is, like here in Japan, we use Line. I think in the U.S., most people use WhatsApp. And
Okay.
yeah, we have like a group chat. We're always sending each other, funny comments and stuff like that. And that's where we talk. We have a group chat where we communicate with each other and kind of clown around all the time and a little bit of
Heck yeah,
seriousness mixed in there.
heck yeah, man. Gotta have fun, man.
Yeah.
Life's a roll, man. You can't, and that's another part I've learned, not, I would say, being a father and being a fighter
Yeah.
is, getting over my losses and overcoming like the fact, cause man, I've literally, I've never had a manager in fighting except
Yeah.
maybe two fights, man. I had a manager. His name was Jimmy Benz, but he ended up
Mm,
passing away a few years
mm.
ago. But it was just two fights. And other than that, I mean, I got probably 30 some fights, man. And I've booked all my fights. I've never had a manager, man. I've got my own sponsors, and for me, me to have what I have now, that
Yeah.
kind of done on my own, not on my own, but kind of like made my image. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can take credit for that. I'm not being selfish to nobody, none of my trainers or nothing, but I led that, I steered that ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I think especially nowadays, that's it kind of seems like a lot of fighters are trying to go that way. It started kind of with the music industry where people started having labels and doing their own stuff. And
Right.
I wonder in the future if more and more fighters are going to start, taking care of their own product, their own brand instead of handing it over to someone else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm definitely the guy to look at doing. That's what I do, man. But at the same time, you can learn a lot from me about my mistakes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because said I'm doing this. This is my, I don't know of any past lives of that I have lived doing this. So I'm pretty sure this is my first rodeo on this one, man. That I
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, I know I'm not perfect at it, man, and I could have done things different. I could have went to fight camps and done things like that, man. But it's like ever since I've had kids, it's hard for me to leave them. It's hard for me to leave them, man, and go train. So literally, man, I fought like my last fight with Thiago Alves,
Yeah.
like, and all my fights before that, like I literally, like this past year, I've pretty much went to the YMCA, man, and
Are you serious?
pretty much ran on a treadmill. I do my weightlifting. I swim, and I make sure I get my sprints in, man. And I had a buddy of mine holding pads for me.
Wow.
You
That
know,
was a kind of you didn't have a lot of notice for that fight, right?
it actually gave me 7 days notice on that, man. And I
7 days notice.
7 days notice. And I
Jeez.
had been staying busy. Like I said, man, I was in the gym, man. Like I was running. I was, I wasn't like in peak shape, but
Yeah.
I was out of shape. So,
Wow.
man,
7 days notice to go in there with with Alves. That was a great fight too, man.
yeah. And that's the hardest thing to do too, man, is your discipline and training, like your conditioning, man. Your
Yeah.
conditioning is the hardest part to make yourself do when you're training. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and conditioning plays, I would say, 80% of the outcome. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Your,
Yeah,
your,
that's true.
your conditioning.
You see a lot of fighters, they're doing great, and then suddenly they start slowing down, and fight turns around and they end up losing.
Yeah, I know. And that's like the story of my life, man. Like my fights that I've lost, like there's some fights that I did lose, but there's some fights that I beat myself. You know what I mean? And that I actually could have done better if I would have
Are those
just.
fights like that? Is that harder to accept the loss when you know you could have put in more work before the fight?
Yeah, for sure, man. Especially when you have a bunch of people, freaking hundreds of people supporting you, and
Yeah,
and uh, and they believe it in you, but deep down you're like, fuck, I don't know if I can go this whole distance, man. I'm gonna try to get him
yeah,
out of here first or the second. So confidence is the most important thing, man, going into a fight. And you can't have confidence if you know you haven't done what you're supposed to do. I mean, you can go in
yeah.
there,
That's true.
you can put it on the front, and you can hype yourself into, you know, believing that have you have that heart and that power to go in there and beat them, but you know that you know, you haven't done your work that you're supposed to do, man.
Yeah,
You can beat them off of your mindset, but your body is important. You have to have your body ready, man.
yeah. And like MMA, most like UFC and stuff, it's a 5 minute round fight. BKFC is how many minutes is each round?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So it's two
2 minute
minutes
round.
and two 2 minute rounds, and then all MMA is 5 minutes, or different promotions have different time limits
I
per
know
round.
MMA 5 minutes, but amateur is 3 minutes.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, pro's
Pro is
fine.
5 minutes. Which one seems longer, the MMA 5 minutes or the bare knuckle 2 minutes?
Five minutes,
Which
man.
one? Oh, five.
Five. Definitely, man. Those 2 minutes go quick, man.
Yeah,
I like the 2 minute rounds, man. But you can fall behind quick, man. Because it's a
yeah, that's
sprint.
true.
Like
That's true.
you gotta go in there and you gotta get to work right away, man. And that's a big thing in fighting. Period, man. Is coming out, man. You gotta come out and go at it. You know what I mean? That's what you're there to do. You're not there to dance around and feel each other
Yeah,
out, man. You want to catch your opponent off guard, man. You want him going backwards. You want to catch him. You want him not knowing, like not be able to think of what he's got to do. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You really like going in there and just going to it, man. That's why a lot of guys usually finish their fights quick like that, because that's, man, 9 times out of 10 the guy has no time to think, and he's just playing defense. And when you put him on defense, a lot of guys don't work defense, man.
yeah, yeah. That's
Offense.
true. Yeah.
You know?
What? So you're planning to get back into MMA too, and you got two fights left. So
Yeah,
you're
I should do a
you're
lot
gonna
of
try to
MMA
do
training.
both.
Yeah, this year I did some. I've done quite a bit of MMA training, man.
Yeah. So if you get back into, or not if, but when you get back into MMA, are you going to have to go out and do your camp somewhere and have to leave home, or will you find somewhere local to do all that?
Um, I don't know at this point. I got a few gyms around the area.
Yeah.
You know, that I go to. Like right now, I'm just kind of just going to little spots around my area, which isn't
Yeah.
many. We don't have much out here, honestly. So I that was another one of my next steps. I was gonna open up a gym out here. You
Oh,
know,
nice.
get me a little spot going, because that's kind of what I need, because that way I can fill it up with guys, man, and have guys, just have guys in the gym every day, man, and be in the gym every day because I love being on the mat. I love showing people, the ropes. You know what I mean? I like teaching them, right from wrong, man. Like, because
Yeah.
like I said, I've done it. I've done all this shit, so it's like I'll make it. I know I'll make a great instructor, uh, coach here shortly, man. And
Yeah, and
that's my goal.
that's a good step to take after, fighting career is done. You still get to do what you love and teach others, and like you said, teach them your mistakes and try to
I said I
help
was
them
gonna wait
avoid
till I
that.
was done. I said I was gonna wait till I was done, but I don't know when I'm gonna be done, man. I don't think I'll be
Yeah.
done either. So I feel like it's better to start now. You know what I mean? I better
Yeah.
like get it started. I don't need much, man. I'm not trying to get rich or anything, but I
Yeah.
pretty much we have a like where I live, man. We got a lot of people. Like I got a strong like support system here too. So
Yeah.
and
What
I got
what
four
city what city are you in?
Mansfield, Ohio.
Mansfield. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's they're known for their prisons, man. They said, man, we don't know about. Only time I hear about Mansfield, man, is somebody going to prison.
Oh,
Hey,
wow.
you ever watched that movie Shawshank Redemption?
Yes, yes.
That was filmed in Mansfield. That prison is actually here in Mansfield. It's Ohio State Reformatory. We
Oh,
got
wow.
we got they do haunted tours and haunted house there every October. It's
Oh, man.
they do
No, thank
ghost
you.
tours. Yeah, me
Yeah,
either, man.
that is not for me. Have you been there?
I've been to the haunted house. Like, well, the haunted they do a haunted prison. They call it
Yeah.
blood. So you do like a walkthrough. It takes like 45 minutes to get through it. It's pretty scary, man.
Oh, I bet.
I jumped a few times, man.
Oh, nah, that's something I'm not really good at, man. My brother, when he came to visit in Japan, we went to this place in Kyoto, Japan, and they film a lot of movies there. And I, I, I don't remember if it was around Halloween. I don't remember when it was, but there was a haunted house with like these ninjas and samurai inside. So my brother and I were like, "Oh, let's go check it out. I'm sure it's not that scary." Dude, we could not get out of there fast enough. It was so freaking scary because the inside was like old castles and like what you see in movies of the ninja dojos and stuff like that. And they had these swords, and I don't know if the swords were real or fake, but they looked real. And then with like long hair and the way they just looked at you and suddenly moved, oh my gosh, my brother and I were screaming. So I'm not good when it comes to all those haunted house type things.
Yeah. I mean, I do it for the kids, man. Hey, my kids
Yeah.
like scary movies, man. They're only, but they're 7 and 8,
Oh,
7 and 9, and 3. Hey, dude, my 3-year-old, man, she likes all those guys, man. Chucky and
oh,
uh,
Chucky.
Pennywise, and she watches all these crazy things on YouTube, man, on her tablet. I'm like, what the heck?
Oh,
We
yeah.
have Pennywise on there doing a rap battle
Yep.
against Chucky. So, hey,
Oh man. I wonder if they're going to be bringing Chucky back, doing a reboot of that.
shoot, man, probably. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I remember when that first came out, that was pretty scary. And then if you watch it now, it's like, how was that even scary, or how do we even think that was real?
I don't know, man. I still get scared, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I stay away from all that. But, everything, I was watching some of your weigh-ins and stuff, and, you look up and I love you, God, and all, that, and that's awesome. I really love to see that. And how has that helped you get through things that you've been in life, not only for fighting, but just in regular life?
Man, without faith, I I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to even survive, man.
Yeah.
Because I like I said, man, I've been on top, been on bottom, man. I've been up and down. Especially if I relate it to my like fight career,
Yeah.
I haven't had the perfect career. in fighting. So it's like a lot of it, faith is what kept me going, man. Faith kept me going after after the first time on the Ultimate Fighter,
Yeah.
man. Didn't win the season. Then I got on another fight win streak. You know what I mean? I started fighting. The next thing you know, it was 2017. It was 5 years later. Ultimate Fighter Redemption. They put me on that
Redemption. Yeah.
show. And on that one, that was even better, man, because I got to be on there with Cody Garbrandt. I got to be on his team.
Yeah.
We had TJ Dillashaw on the other team, and there was just much better coaches. Like the vibe was different, man. Because the first time we
Yeah.
had Roy Nelson, and it wasn't really what we expected with Roy Nelson, man. He wasn't
Yeah.
really motivational or inspirational, man. He kind of basically like, dude, he literally told us it's better not to win the Ultimate Fighter and get in the
What?
UFC without it. Yeah, man. We're like, coach, man. We're trying to be like you, man. We're trying to win the show, man. You telling us
Now,
shit like that, you know?
is that, I wonder if he was saying that because of like the structure of the contract.
Well, he had a problem. Him and Dana had a little beef there because,
Yeah, I remember that.
he was stuck in the Ultimate Fighter contract, and he was trying to get
Yeah.
out of it. And he was trying to get a better contract. And it was just, I don't know. So he didn't really have the best mindset going into teaching us. And he
Yeah.
lived in this, man. So the first time on the show, man, we only got to train once a day, man. Nelson
Oh,
didn't want to
really?
train twice a day. Yeah. And, Shane Carwin's team, they're from Colorado, so they were staying in a hotel and stuff. So they got to, you know, uh, they were trying to get out and do something. So they got their team in there twice a day, man. And
Yeah.
I got stuck in the house more than the other guys. That's why we got cooped up, man. Started getting bored, started doing pranking and,
Yep.
things like that. And
One thing
being,
leads to another.
yeah, finding trouble.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
And how about outside of fighting, your faith? What are some things that your faith has helped you get through?
um, it's it's getting me. It gets me through life, man.
Yeah.
It gets me through
Yeah.
life, man. Ever since I have made a relationship with God, I've always had, I've had a guarantee. Like, I know He's got my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know everything's gonna be all right. You know, I, I, I'm real spiritual. You know what I mean? I don't have a religion or anything. I'm just real spiritual, and I
Yeah.
just believe the Most High, man. And like, I know if you ask, you'll receive. You know what I mean? I know if you
Yeah.
ask God for help, man, you got to reach out though, because there's demons everywhere, man. Demons will
Yep.
find you if you're not looking for them, man. The
Yeah.
good will only find you if you ask for it, man.
Yep.
The good will only find you if you want it. So you got to reach out, and you got to have the faith, and you got to believe in what that's what that faith is. You got to believe what you're asking, what you're praying for. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it was about 2 years ago, man. I started really understanding more, about life. And
Oh, really? So pretty recently.
yeah, for sure, man. Go ahead.
And you were talking about, now you got four girls.
Yeah.
So that must change how you view everything. And not just because it's four girls, but just four kids. Because I got two kids. And, when my first son was born, I basically stopped drinking. I don't really go out at night, unless I'm with my family. My friends will call me up, hey man, we're gonna go grab some drinks and all that. And let's hit me up when you guys are gonna do lunch. Nothing really good happens when you're out at night having drinks and all that. So, you know what I mean?
It ends up
So
being all night.
yeah, it does. It does, especially if you got friends that are single or friends that aren't happy in their relationship and things like that. If I'm with, when I'm hanging out with my friends that are kind of in the same space I am, where, I'm really strong in my faith, born Catholic, raised Catholic, I'm still Catholic, everything. So when I'm with my friends that kind of in the same mindset that I am, it's cool. We'll have a little early dinner, things like that, maybe um, hang out together. But single friends or friends that I know that aren't happy in their relationships, I'm like, man, I don't really want to be going out at night with these guys because I know what it's going to turn into. So, how about for you after having kids? What changed? What were some of the biggest changes that you had?
um, like I said, man, I started doing things more. I wasn't as risky. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't as risky, man. I calmed, like I had to calm my temper down, man. I kind
Yes.
of, used to, when I get mad, I couldn't, I would let myself get extra mad more than I should,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and things like that. Like pretty much, like I know my freedom is very important, and I don't, I was, I mean, I never really was a troublemaker, man, but I got in some, a few troubles when I was young, man, but nothing ever
Yeah.
crazy, man. But I've been in a lot of fights, man. Like I've been in a lot of
Yeah.
street fights, because I was always that was my way to, that's all I knew, man. I knew
Yeah.
how to beat somebody up, man, or wrestle somebody, or
Yeah.
when I got mad about something, if we didn't agree on it, I didn't know how to accept, what I'm saying, something. I didn't know how to accept me being wrong, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it,
You
it
got to
taught me a lot.
learn to just let things go. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. It definitely it made me mature, man. And it took me out of it made me realize like what life means to me, man. Like and that's another thing. Like when I started really connecting my spirit with God, and then like things started happening to me for me, man. Like God started answering my prayers. Like I literally would pray for something, man, and I could see it happen,
Yeah.
and it's like, and my faith started getting stronger. Even and what really, and God really tested me, man, through like my losses, man, my fight losses, like through a couple of
Yeah.
my, man, I felt really good going in there, man, and really confident, really faithful,
Yeah.
and still lost. All right,
Yeah.
still faith, because that's not for you, man. But there's things you could have done that maybe you could have actually won that. If your faith was a little stronger during the fight. There's times in the fight where you lose a little faith. You know what I mean? And that's where the other opponent will capitalize, man. So you got to keep that faith strong all the way from the beginning to the end of the fight, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to take risks. You can't be cautious. You can't care about what happens to you, man. Because you a faithful person, man, knows that he's going to be fine no matter what he does in there. You know what I mean?
No
And those are
matter what happens. Yeah.
how you go in there and you win. Man. You go in there and you pull that trigger, man, and you don't think
Yeah.
nothing about it. You know?
Yeah, and I think having kids really helps you put things into perspective. Like, if you're single and you got all these fights going on and you lose, you come home to just you and you start getting in your head and everything starts
Right.
to turn
Oh,
negative and
yeah.
you come home,
The day,
your kids just hug you. It's different.
yeah, that's the best, man. Regardless of,
Yeah.
the kids love you, man. So it's like, and that's another thing. The love that they give me, man. It's just,
Yeah.
really. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's all I need, but
Yeah.
it keeps going, man. Without,
Yes,
with
definitely.
that, it's hard to fail in life when you got something like that, man. That's automatic winning right there, man. I was just saying, like the whole pandemic thing really taught me to appreciate more. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying, bro? I sit down, man. It's like, man, I got my kids, and I don't have to rush every day of my life, man. And it's like
Yeah.
I I finally chilled out these last couple of years, man. Because it was like life goes so quick. Because I was always like, all right, I go one fight, and I revolved my whole life around fighting, man. I put so much
Yeah.
into it, and that's another reason why all that breakdown and all that stuff. Because I'm so dedicated, man, to something that I love. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And
Mm.
and I put so much into it, and then it doesn't go my way, and it's like, well, you got to keep going. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh shit, I do that a lot, dude. I end up forgetting what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So
Don't worry, I'll cut this part out, so don't worry
no, you
about
ain't
it.
gotta cut it, man. That's cool, bro. That's me, man. I'm just sitting there, dude. Yeah. What was I talking
We were
about
talking
there?
about we were talking about the
Yes,
pandemic, and
pandemic.
it's taught
Okay.
you to slow down. Yes, there we
Yeah,
go.
that
I
definitely.
think I
You
think
know,
you're watching TV in the corner up there. That's why something good was on
no, I
TV,
ain't
and you're like, oh
actually.
wait, no,
I'm
I'm
down
just kidding, man.
in the basement, man.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh yeah,
but
pandemic.
yeah, it really, it taught me to appreciate life, man. and
Yeah.
it put me back to the basics of life, man. It put me back to my roots. Like, man, everything was closed. We had to stay in our houses, man. We had to really use the resources we had, man. And it's like
Yeah.
thing became closer to me, man. My family became closer, my kids, my friends. It's like I used it for the good, man. Like
Yeah.
I think this was just a blessing from God trying to, get us all on the right path, man. And
Yeah,
it's
I think that was for everybody. Just some people didn't take that as a blessing, and I saw a lot of
right,
people, getting depressed and all this kind of stuff during the pandemic. And I mean, it's different for everybody. I couldn't get that. I was so happy to be home with my kids.
for sure, man. Because I was so busy in my own mind, man. Like being selfish, like wanting more and more and more and more and more. And I want this
Yeah.
and want more. But you're like, dude, I'm steady. I've been chasing my fucking, hey, excuse my language. I've been chasing my
Oh
dream
yeah.
for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? No,
Yeah.
I've been living my dream for 10 years, man.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's where you forget, and that's where you will waste your whole life, man, if you sit there and chase something instead of living it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The minute you start it, you're living it. You're not chasing it anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you
Yep.
gotta enjoy it, and you gotta enjoy the bad, even if something bad happens. You gotta like not something bad, but say something knocks you down. You get a bump in your path.
Yeah.
You gotta enjoy it, man. It's like riding a roller coaster. You go downhill, man. You gotta
Yeah.
like, scream, man. And put your
Yep.
hands up, enjoy the ride, man. So and without the downs in life, the ups would be nothing. So it's like
Yep.
if you just count the ups in your life, man, you're gonna be disappointed, man. Unless you just
Yeah.
got it like that. But you gotta. That's
Yeah.
what I tell people, man. Like, enjoy what you have, appreciate what you have, man. Because
Yeah, and sometimes it takes something kind of severe like that to really understand it. And I guess the lockdown was a little more kind of severe in the States where things were really locked down. Like here in Japan, my kids' school was closed for about 2 months. Gyms were closed for 2 months. Some shopping centers were closed for 2 weeks. That was about it. We spent the 2 months at home. We took the mattresses out and put them in the living room, and we would sleep there sometimes and watch movies on the mattresses. And the kids would jump from the sofa onto the mattresses. We would go out and play. I mean, we spent so much time together. And the last week, I was kind of hoping. I was like, man, I hope they extend, the lockdown for another couple of weeks so we can spend more time together. But we watched so
I
many
mean,
movies.
yeah,
It was awesome.
you're so busy
Yeah.
working, man. So busy working to make a life, man, make a living. It's like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
forget to actually live. You forget to actually live. And
Yeah. Yeah.
man, you know, and any faithful man of God, would be able to understand that and
Yep.
be able to keep a smile on his face, every day.
Yep. Yeah.
Wake up.
I understand for some people they couldn't go out and work, and so that's a different situation, as far as the financial stuff. But when you got kids,
Sure.
you still got to be able to keep a smile on your face and not let your kids know that there's any type of problem going on financially.
Right, right, exactly, man. Because regardless if I had, my mom ever had anything, man, she didn't have much, but she always made sure I had everything I wanted or tried, to make me happy as much as she
Yeah.
could. You know, time flies. That's why you gotta like I said, make the best of it, man. Chase it,
Yep.
go after what you want, man. And this is,
Exactly.
like I said, I think I'll be so back. What after the redemption season, man, is when after that I got off the Ultimate Fighter, and I actually, first I actually got my passport, and I went out of the country for the first time in my life, man. And
That's the
got,
first time you got a passport.
yeah, September of 2017. I did. I got
Wow.
off the Ultimate Fighter in March of 2017, and then I went to
Yeah.
Moscow, Russia. Moscow. I went to Moscow September of 2017. Man, that was first
Yeah.
time out the country for a fight, and that was an amazing experience there. Um,
Yeah.
Went there by myself. You know what I mean? I
Wow.
didn't have
You
a
said
partner,
that's
man.
that's the first time out of the country for a fight, and was that also your first time just out of the country?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah,
So first time out of the country and first time to fight outside of the country.
yeah. And it was for Akhmat MMA. I don't know if you ever heard
Okay.
of Akhmat Fight Club. It's
No.
the guy that runs it's he was a former dictator for the Czech Republic, Robzik Kadyrov,
Okay.
and
Oh yeah, I've heard that name. Yeah.
they do that the Akma MMA, and
Yeah.
I went out there and fought for him, and it was an amazing experience, man.
Really?
It was crazy, man. Like it was just a crazy experience, man. Being around guys like that and
Yeah.
fighting promotion like that, and the hospitality, man, was amazing.
Was
Uh,
great. Yeah.
going out of the country and pretty much not even speak to anybody. You gotta learn some language. You gotta learn a few words so you can get
Few
by. And
words.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it, man.
How
It's
long were
like
you there?
I was there for about 4 days,
Okay.
and then I, s- I stayed at a nice hotel, man. It was a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
I made time to I actually made a friend while I was there, and I got he showed me where a MMA gym was. I got to train at this
Oh,
gym
that's
called
cool.
Athletica. It was out in Moscow. It was a good gym, man. Had some cool guys there. And actually, one of the guys cornered me for my fight.
Oh no. You got a friend and a corner man on
Yeah, that was
before
funny,
the
man.
fight.
Dude. Hey, I've wrapped my hands before my fights before, man.
Really?
Yes, dude. I wrapped my hand in jump rope to warm up for my fight one time in Miami, and I choked the guy out in the first round, man. I was
Jeez.
main event. I
That's
do stuff
main
like
event.
that, man. I go to
Main
freaking
event. Wrap your own hands.
I go to England, bare knuckle fight a guy 17-0 for a
Jeez.
world title on my debut. Never ever heard of bare knuckle, and
Yeah.
I ended up taking this guy's championship belt on my debut. Man, that was a crazy time too.
Yeah.
That was right after that Russia. I think that was a year later. After that,
Yeah. The
you know,
the uh, the first time I watched the bare knuckle, it was a little bit hard to watch, to be honest with you, just because I've been used to boxing and MMA with gloves and all that stuff, and I watched the first fights and I was like, I mean, it's interesting, it's exciting, but I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to keep watching this just because I just kind of kept cringing, like, oh my gosh, somebody's just going to get just cut up,
man,
and then I watched the
yeah,
next event, and it's yeah, I really enjoy watching it now. It's exciting, and then the 2 minute rounds, that I mean, there's just constant fighting, and it's 2 minutes,
yeah,
so a lot more
yeah.
action.
It's definitely amazing, man. I like the bare knuckle fighting championship is definitely they've done a lot since they've started up, and it's the fastest growing sport, man.
Yeah.
And they're doing good with the bare knuckle app now, so uh, everybody
Mm,
you can catch it on the app, man. It's a pretty good
yeah.
deal though.
I wonder how many more fighters are going to be able to add to the roster, especially now UFC is going to be cutting like 60 people or something like that.
Really? Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't, man. They seem to be putting guys on left and right, man. So Dave Feldman, he's mastermind behind this, so he's got
Yeah.
he's got some people up his sleeve, man. Got some
Yeah,
announcements to make.
they probably got a new crop of people. I was surprised Yoel Romero got cut.
Really, I didn't hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he
Big,
got he's done with UFC. And at first Bellator wasn't interested, and I don't remember what other organization wasn't interested, but finally he ended up signing with UFC, just like Rumble Johnson. Also, he's not with the UFC anymore. He's with Bellator. So yeah, I was watching an interview, and Dana White said, yeah, there's going to be about 60 people cut, and Anderson Silva was the first one, and then Romero, and yeah, he said we got about 60 more cuts.
dang,
So yeah,
that's just
there's
Anderson, man. I hate that, man, about Anderson, man. Like that was my favorite fight. He's
yeah,
still one of my favorite fighters. It's just a sad story to how his career ended out, man. Because
yeah.
at one time he was the scariest man in the octagon, man. You know, and then
Father time, man. Can't fight
yeah, man,
forever, especially with that high level.
yeah, for sure. When
Yeah.
he broke his leg, it was over with after that, man.
Oh, dude, that was so hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
That kick, and then when he tried to step on it, oh,
Oh man. Dude, hey, I
that
fought
was
with a broken
terrible.
jaw, man. I fought 5 rounds with a broken jaw over in England one time. And that bare
Jeez, you
knuckles.
broke it in the
Got
first?
my got it broken the first, man. Freaking and what lost a decision. But man, the whole time, like it was, I even man, it was. I was just so mad that I like let myself get hit, and it wasn't even a good
Yeah,
punch. It was a little check hook, man.
yeah.
And I was just like, man, that's but the rumor was that the guy had plastered his hand wrap because they were taping
Wow.
over the knuckles. You know what I mean? They were taping over the knuckles, and they told me the dude had made it like a cast. You know what I mean? And
Jeez.
yeah, that's why we don't tape over the knuckles here in the States. Like our organization doesn't tape over the knuckles. You know, and that's another thing because they were like, BKFC's like, man, it's not bare knuckle unless you have actual bare knuckle. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why they don't tape over the knuckles. But yeah, I had my jaw broke, man. I had my hands broke a couple times, broke a couple fingers.
When
It's
you're
rough.
in there fighting, you fought 5 rounds with a broken jaw. Do you constantly think about it, or if you get clipped again, do you feel it, or do you just the
Oh,
adrenaline
I
and
didn't.
everything going on, you just forget about it?
It's not as bad the first day. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not like I didn't break it up on my ear here. I broke it here, so it
Yeah.
actually
Ugh.
cracked. I actually have a titanium plate in here.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. I got a titanium plate now, but it. So I felt like when I bit down on my mouthpiece, it felt like my teeth were like knocked out. I felt like my teeth got knocked out. And my corner man was like, "No, your teeth are good. They're still there. Just go knock his teeth out." I'm like, "You damn right. I'm fucking pissed that this guy knocked my teeth out, man." I was like, "I'm so mad right now. Like, how did you just?"
Oh
I went in there, man, showboating, man. I got caught with a little hit. It didn't even stumble me or anything, man.
jeez.
The impact was so freaking solid. I could literally feel. I felt when it cracked, and I was just like,
Uh,
I was like, that ain't good. I felt that one. I was like,
yeah.
something right. And I started like, I could touch it with my tongue, like it was stuck. I could feel the bone sticking out, and I was just
Oh man.
like, I was like, man, something ain't right. And then man, later on that night, we go back. We actually, we had a house. They had rented us a house, big old house, man, and
Yeah.
we were staying in this house in England, man. And I freaking, we ended up going out, man, and I ended up going out partying that night with a broken
That
jaw.
night with the broken jaw.
And then I went to the hospital like 6 in the morning. You know,
After you enjoyed, then
yeah,
you decided to go to the hospital.
I
How
went to
long
the
did it take
hospital.
for that to heal?
It took about 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
The crazy thing is, man, I got the plate in. I was there about. I was in the hospital probably 3 days.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and then it says, I know it says, I googled it. It said it takes 8 weeks for jaw to heal.
Yeah.
But they told me I could get the plate removed or I could leave it in. So I just decided to leave it in. And um, yeah, it freaking. I left the plane, and 8 weeks later, I had booked a fight. 8 weeks after the surgery, man, I had a fight. I actually fought Dakota Cochran, and
Okay.
I lost my rear naked choke. But
Yeah.
it was some controversial things there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but I ended up, dude. I fought that literally 8 weeks after my jaw surgery, man, because I was at that point. I was just trying to I don't know. I just kind of
Yeah.
fought and always fought, and like I started taking fights even if I wasn't training, and
Yeah.
I just and I fell into that phase where I was just kind of half-assing and taking fights, and then my record
Yeah.
started getting a little sloppy, man. I think my MMA, my pro record's like 13-7 or something like that.
Yeah.
I still have more wins though than losses, but I
Yeah.
need to make that like 20-7. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. 2021. Get back into MMA and see where
Yeah.
that ride takes you. How old are you now?
I'm 33 now.
33. So you're still young. You still got
Yeah,
some years to
I'm
get
not,
in there.
I'm not the average. I'm not the average bear. You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
got some miles on me, man.
Yeah.
Miles. I still got the drive, and I'm still hungry, man. I just, like I said, but it's not just my. I'm not just focused on fighting now. Like I told you, I'm looking into starting this gym, and I'm
Yeah.
looking to start teaching and just teaching and just helping other people, man, speaking out, man. Hey, you never know, man. I even talked about one day, man, I might run for the town mayor.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
it's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, it's just like I like speaking to people. I just like to motivate people, man. I like to see people do good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to give back a lot to my community, man, because we don't have a lot here for the kids, and we don't have a lot of
Yeah.
programs for kids, and a lot of kids end up going down the wrong paths, man, like doing drugs and stuff in high school, and girls, going down the wrong road in high school, and
Yeah.
I just want to, give our place more, give our place more to have you know, besides all the bad stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Give kids
safe,
a
man.
chance, man.
Yeah.
Give kids a
Uh,
chance to do something different with their lives. That's awesome, man. I mean, that's basically what life is all about, especially if you're given something like, you've been given opportunities to be on TV and all that kind of stuff. And if you can use that for good to help your community and especially help kids, I mean, that's what life is all about right there.
yeah, and I feel like, man, and that's all. Like I said, that comes back to the Lion of Judah, man. Like,
Yeah.
um, I've been slayed over and over, man. And
Yeah.
I keep coming, man. And it's like I keep bouncing up. I keep rising from the dead, man.
Yeah.
Like my purpose here is not done. It's like I have a soul mission and a soul purpose, man. And until I find out what that is, and until I
Yeah.
accomplish that, I'm gonna be here for a while, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I feel, even with all the, even though I've had some losses, and my bare knuckle record now is, I think it's 3-4 now,
Yeah.
and it's like, but records aren't everything, and I'm the person to show that records aren't nothing, man,
Yeah.
because I might have a record like that, but I guarantee you get in there with me, man. You're gonna know it's an alpha male. You know what I
It's
mean?
going to
And
be a fight. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And that's just my drive. That's why I tell people, like, man, it's a hard road, man. So and it's the guy who can finish, man. It ain't the guy who finishes first or last. It don't matter. It's just about finishing it, man.
Finish and finish strong. That's what it's about. And don't
Never
worry
give
about who's ahead of you or who's behind you.
For sure, man. And worry about what you got. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what other people got, man.
Yeah.
Who cares if somebody's got more than you and this and that? Because if you always worry about other things, man, if you worry about things you don't have, man, you don't appreciate what you have, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a hundred
And that was,
percent right there.
you
Especially the whole, trying to help out kids. I mean, I love hearing stuff like that because right now, I'll listen to some of the music that's out there and what kids are listening to and watch the TV
oh,
programs. And I'm like, man, there's like no positive messages out there.
I know, man. It's all brainwash material, man.
It's crazy. It's
It is
crazy.
crazy.
Like,
It is crazy, man. And that's the hardest part is telling people it's crazy,
yeah.
because then they tell
Then
you
they think
you're
you're
crazy.
crazy. Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, come on, man.
I just
Yeah.
had this conversation with somebody recently. Like in my house, my kids, they can't say the word impossible. Like we don't use the word impossible. We could say something's hard, something's difficult. We just, I just told them, hey, we just don't use the word impossible. And
Right.
somebody's like, oh, that's hard, man. You can't teach kids to be like that. And I'm like, it's not going to affect their vocabulary taking one word out. They still know what the meaning of it is. We just don't use it in my house. I don't want my kids thinking that anything is impossible. Something can be hard, something can be tough, but nothing
It's
is
never
impossible.
possible.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's a good one.
yeah,
That's good.
it's tough for kids out there right now. They have all these so-called celebrities that are pushing just this negative, bad
And it's like
stuff.
life is so different for them, man. It's like our lives were different, man. I actually had a childhood, man. It's like
Yeah,
my kids can't have a childhood. They can have a childhood, but it's like they can't have the one I had because they're
yeah,
girls, and
yeah,
they're girls in an area where there's predators, you know what I mean,
yeah,
and you got to be
yeah.
careful. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta. It's hard, and I feel bad for the kids now. So it's like I want to give them
Yep,
more things, man. We need skating rinks. We need amusement parks, man. We need stuff. We need our city to spend money on things besides um, besides
Prisons.
jails,
It sounds
besides
like you guys got to let. Yeah.
besides SWAT team trucks and guns and police cars. We need to spend that shit on the kids, man. You
I
know what I
wonder
mean?
if
And
there's I wonder if there's
hey,
any correlation between how many jails or prisons there are in a city to how many people end up going to those
I
jails.
know one thing is Oprah Winfrey sent I think she sent like 10 million here,
Yeah,
maybe like about it was uh, about 7 years ago, somewhere around there.
yeah.
She sent and they were supposed to build because we have a heroin like dude, it's bad. So like
Wow.
people OD left and right, man, constantly every day, and it's like they were supposed to build new rehab centers with the money that Oprah gave us. She gave the city money to build rehabs and everything, and they literally they bought brand new cop cars and guns and built a new
Jeez.
jail, and so she got a lawsuit. But I mean, but that's that's the thing, you gotta have somebody that's they're not that like don't pray. We can't make this town all about crime, man.
Yeah, yeah,
We got to get that out the picture, man, because it's not a bad place, man. It's
yeah,
actually a great place. People are very united here, and we have 50, maybe almost 50,000 people here, and it's like we're for the most part we're very united, and
yeah.
we don't have a gang unit police force like we don't
Oh,
have
wow.
gangs. We have people that claim gangs and stuff. But they ain't,
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah. It's not.
It's Yeah, it's not like that, man. But the drugs are really bad, and some crimes are really bad. But for the most part, we got a good community, man. It's just we need more positive things, man.
Yes, yeah.
And that,
Especially for the kids, man. There's, you know, for adults and stuff. A lot of times, no matter how much you try to help somebody, if they're not ready to accept it, it's uh,
right?
it's not going to change anything. But for kids, they
That's
don't know
what
any better. Yeah,
it's,
yeah. For kids, they just see whatever they see on social media, whatever they hear in the music, and man, all this music now. Like, I grew up loving hip hop and I listened to rap, all that kind of stuff, and I I go back and listen to some of it, and it wasn't good. It wasn't a great message, but the stuff that they're talking about now, it seems so much worse.
yeah, I know, man. It's definitely a lot worse. It's a lot worse. Yeah. But I
So
mean,
yeah,
it was bad. We listened to some bad stuff, man. But it wasn't. It's
yeah,
just
we
different,
did.
man. Like
Yeah,
they're pushing it. They push it way harder. Like back
yeah,
then, it was hard to hear it. It was hard to get a copy
yeah,
of that. You got to burn that shit off the internet
yeah.
somewhere, man. You know.
You used to go to
And
your friend's
now,
house just to
it's
listen
right.
to rap music and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And now they're putting him on the face of TV. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
face of TV.
yeah. And
And
social media made all that so much easier too.
it's like, the one that trips me out the most is the 6ix9ine guy. You see kids with the big tats on their face and the rainbow hair, and I'll be like, yo, what the
Yeah.
fuck are these kids, man?
Oh man. Yeah, that guy, his music videos and when he's on Instagram or whatever social media he's using, that guy's he doesn't hold back, that's for sure.
World now, man.
Yeah.
And my
See,
my dad used to tell me that all the time, man. And I didn't understand it, but now I understand.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, my oldest is 11, and he plays baseball and he was doing basketball before, but I needed karate since he was little. But we pretty much focus on baseball now because that's kind of how it is in Japan. It's just you choose one sport and that's it. Like they got a game this weekend. It's going to be like 35 degrees, but they got a baseball game, and that's just how you do it out here. You choose one sport and you go. And he's got a social media, he's got a Instagram, but he's never on it. Like I control it. He doesn't use it. He doesn't even know how many followers he has. None of that. I just use it to get him out there, and he's got some sponsors and stuff like that. So that's what I use it for him. But uh,
That's cool.
I'm nervous to hand it over to him.
Hey, I do the same with my daughter, man. She's
Yeah,
9. She's
yeah,
very mature. She's very mature
yeah,
and she understands. Like she's smart, man. Like
yeah,
she's like she's my firstborn, man. But she's actually a big sister, man. Like
yeah.
she surprises me every day, man. Like she's a very good girl, man, and an honest girl, and she knows right from wrong. She knows she ain't supposed to do certain things, she won't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I get a little. I control her whole Instagram. You know,
Yeah.
I let her go on there and scroll sometimes. But you know, I'm sitting there supervising her, and
Yeah.
I don't let her post nothing unless I post it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Post it. I don't accept. I don't let her accept any followers. I have to do all that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I
It's
told my 7-year old. I said she'll be 8 in February, but I told her when she gets mature like your sister, and if you turn 8, when you turn 8 or 9, I'll set you one up too. But so I give her, I let her big sister be an example, and
yeah.
just let her try to follow the lead, man. But
Yeah,
also
and it's
teach her to
tough.
be.
It's tough too because we want to protect them and kind of keep them off of it, but everybody's on it. You can't get the neighbors to be off it or the kid down the street to be off it. And if your kid's not on there, they're left out of so much, which is very unfortunate. So unless like the whole community says, "Hey, no Instagram for our kids," there's really not much you can do except for like we're doing, kind of control it for them.
Right. Yeah, there was one point, man. Like I would say about a year ago, my I see my kid. My kid was doing this little. She was singing and doing this little dance. My little 3-year old, man. I was like, she's doing this dance, and she was like, "I'm a savage." You know
I'm
what I
a
mean?
savage.
And she was doing this thing and this dance, and I was just like, where the heck did she get that? And they were like TikTok, like we don't know. So their mom was letting them on TikTok and stuff. I had put it
Wow.
into that quick, man.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, y'all can't be on TikTok, man. You know what I mean? You
No.
can't be on there dancing to these videos and all that, man. It's just because it influences them, man. And parents think it's cute and everything, man. But then kids
Yes.
think it's okay because the parents think it's cute, and then next thing you know, man, it's you can't take it away from them. You know what I mean? It's like it's already programmed in their head, man. It's hard to get them
Yep.
out of that.
Yep. And they go to their friends' houses and they all have it. And yeah, the TikTok thing. I don't get on there. I started an account like when it first came out, and I think it was about 2 months ago. I opened it up to see what was on there, and I just kind of kept flipping through the channel, the posts and stuff, and I was like, man, I got to turn this off. And I had to go apologize to my wife. I felt like I was cheating on her with all the stuff that was on there. I was like, I got to delete this damn TikTok thing. Not that I was like, oh damn, I'm going to contact these girls. Not at all. But
Right?
I showed my wife. I was like, look at this. I mean, look at what
Yes.
people are posting on there. I was like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and probably you probably
I
are
know.
if you just sit there and just watch all that stuff.
Hey, I know if you walked up, you'd be doing something wrong. If she walked up and seen you looking at it,
Jeez.
and she's like,
Oh
"What are
my
you looking
gosh.
at?" Like, I'm just scrolling. I promise you, I'm just scrolling, and this stuff
I
just pops up.
swear I just opened it right now. I would have tossed that phone. But yeah,
Right.
I showed my wife. I got up and I was like, look at this. She's like, yeah, I know. That's crazy. So I won't let my kids, have TikTok, and you can't control them forever. They're going to get old enough, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do. You just hope that whatever you taught them when they were young, they're going to remember it. And when they do make a mistake, hopefully they'll be able to correct it and make a better choice after that.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
man. Even when I do stuff wrong around, like I try not to do things around them, but like I said, nobody's perfect, man. And sometimes I'll slip up and do some things that I shouldn't do, and I make sure I instantly let them know, like, hey, I was wrong for saying that. I was wrong
Yeah.
for acting like that. I shouldn't have been acting like that, or I shouldn't have said that. I know I was wrong, and I just want you to know I was, that it's not okay for me to say things like that, or it's not okay for me to act like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because they're always watching. They watch everything, and
They do,
with
man.
my oldest, he's 11, and I forgot like when he was 2 and 3. It's been so long, you kind of forget that they are watching everything. With the new one, he's 2 now, and he'll do or say something, and I'm like, where did he pick that up? And my wife's like, where do you think? I'm like, oh, all right, I
Heck
gotta
yeah.
I gotta start watch what I'm doing.
Yeah, he learns from you and the but and the other. You got two boys, right?
2 boys, yeah, 2 and
Yeah,
11.
he learns. That's like my kids are so close in age, man. It's like my 3-year-old. She learns everything from her older sisters, man. It's like she gets smart. So she's so smart, man, because her older sisters are smart. It's like she learns. She
Yeah.
has so much to learn from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I got I got
Oof.
to watch the 6 months, man, and she's just gonna she's
Oh,
extra smart, man. She's so big, man. She's 20 pounds. She's 6 months, and
jeez.
she's very healthy, man, and
That's
beautiful, man.
awesome.
Just
That's
blessed and
awesome.
thankful, man. Like she
Yeah, that's
smiles,
amazing.
smiles every day, all day, man. You can she eat her sweet potatoes, man. She'll sit there and kick and giggle the whole time, man. She loves it.
That's what life is all about, man. Once you have kids, it's just watching them smile. You know, whatever problems you got going on, if you just sit and take time with your kids and watch them smile and watch them play, kind of make everything go away, and you start realizing, man, it's not that serious. Whatever it is, we can get through it. Especially if you keep your faith, we can get through anything.
Right, for sure, man. But
All
just
right,
I
my
know
brother.
my phone's getting ready. My phone just hit me with the 15% warning, man. You know.
It's time to cut this conversation. Your phone's about to die.
Yeah, man. Uh, look out for me. Bare knuckle fighting championship. I'll be hey, like I said, I'll be here all year, man. And
Yep,
like I said, man, my future's with bare knuckle FC. But I'd
yep,
say, like I said, at the same time, man, don't be surprised if you see me pop up something on the side. You know what I mean? Pop
yeah.
out, get back in that
That'd be
cage,
great
man.
if they let you jump from MMA and still do the bare knuckle thing. That'd be awesome.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
And
Well, keep me
you know,
posted. Whenever you got your next fight booked, let me know right away.
for sure, for sure. So, like I said, it might be Tampa in February or it'd be Miami in March, man. We'll see, man. But hey, thanks for having me.
No
And
problem, man. Appreciate it. All right, man. We'll keep in touch, and I might be back in the States either March or April, and I'm planning to. I'll be in like a Seattle, LA, and I might try to get over to Florida too. So if you got something going on there in March, maybe we can hook up over there. Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple guys, running their mouths on social media lately. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I
all
saw.
these guys think they're tough, man. It's like, you know what I mean? Every fight I've had, man, I have fought a freaking hero, man. Like I have fought
Yes.
a main event my whole life, man. I've always,
Yeah.
like I told you, I have booked all my fights. I always have fought the backyard guy, man. I've never
Yeah.
been the hometown guy. I've always
Yeah.
been flown in to lose, and I have made upsets, 80% of the
Yeah.
time. But it's like, and I see these guys get 0-0 opponents or 1-0 opponents, or these guys that don't have
Yeah.
any fights. But it's like, man, they never gave me that
Yeah.
opportunity to build myself up either, man. But that just shows you how tough I am, man. And
Yeah.
and 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 I'm, this one dude, Jake Boswick, is calling me out. I guess he's from Miami or something, man. But I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'll be shutting his mouth here in February, March, man. There's
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that post, and I was a
so
little surprised, but I was like, "Oh wow!"
they think it's sweet, man. Everybody thinks it's sweet, man, because it's like you say, you have my on and off times, man. So you might catch me training, or you might not.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
they and like I said, this time I'm really getting. I've been serious this last year, man, and I've as you see with my last performance. So
Yeah.
I've just I've getting back in it, man. I've just been steady going and training, man, and I've kind of just rebuilt myself up in 2020. And in 2021, man, I'm going to show y'all what I'm about, man. New
2021. Time to go.
beginning, man. New beginning. Line of Judah, baby. Let's
There we
go,
go.
man.
There we go. 2021. We'll keep an eye out for you, and we'll definitely keep watching whatever's going to be going on, whether it's in bare knuckle or it's back in the octagon. So excited to see what's going to happen for you in 2021, brother.
Awesome, man. Excited.
All right,
Hey,
man.
God bless you, man, and stay safe,
God
and hope
bless
everything
you too. Yeah,
best for
appreciate your
you.
time. Appreciate the conversation, man. We'll
Absolutely.
talk to
Thank
you
you.
soon. All right, man.
Yep.
God bless.